I seek to learn and share with you my own journey and path of learning and understanding on the level I am. The interpretation and views are my own. The Prophet, on Good and Evil by Kahlil Gibran, and one of the elders of the city said, "Speak to us of good and evil." And he answered, "Of the good in you I can speak, but not of the evil. For what is evil but good tortured by its own hunger and thirst? Verily, when good is hungry it seeks food even in dark caves, and when it thirsts it drinks even of dead waters. You are good when you are one with yourself. Yet when you are not one with yourself you are not evil. For a divided house is not a den of thieves, it is only a divided house. And a ship without rudder may wander aimlessly among perilous isles yet sink not to the bottom. You are good when you strive to give of yourself. Yet you are not evil when you seek gain for yourself. For when you strive for gain you are but a root that clings to the earth and sucks at her breast. Surely the fruit cannot say to the root, "Be like me, ripe and full and ever giving of your abundance." For the fruit giving is a need, as receiving is a need to the root. You are good when you are fully awake in your speech, yet you are not evil when you sleep while your tongue staggers without purpose. And even stumbling speech may strengthen a weak tongue. You are good when you walk to your goal firmly and with bold steps. Yet you are not evil when you go thither limping. Even those who limp go not backward. But you who are strong and swift, see that you do not limp before the lame, deeming it kindness. You are good in countless ways, and you are not evil when you are not good. You are only loitering and sluggard. Pity that the stags cannot teach swiftness to the turtles. In your longing for your giant self lies your goodness, and that longing is in all of you. But in some of you that longing is a torrent rushing with might to the sea, carrying the secrets of the hillsides and the songs of the forest. And in others it is a flat stream that loses itself in angles and bends and lingers before it reaches the shore. But let not him who longs much say to him who longs little, "Wherefore are you slow in halting?" For the truly good ask not the naked, "Where is your garment?" Nor the houseless, "What has befallen your house?" The Prophet, on Good and Evil by Kahlil Gibran, a deep dive with personal insights of the good in you I can speak, but not of the evil. For what is evil but good tortured by its own hunger and thirst? Symbolic message: Gibran reframes evil, not as a separate force, but as goodness distorted by unmet needs. Evil is not born in malice, but in misalignment. Reflection: this resonates with how I see human nature. I've never believed in a wholly evil soul, only in pain, hunger, or fear distorting something that was once whole. We are all good at our core, sometimes that core is simply starving. You are good when you are one with yourself. Yet when you are not one with yourself you are not evil. Key insight: disconnection from self is not evil, it is confusion, fragmentation, or inner division. Gibran removes the harsh moral binary. Thought: this comforts me. There have been times I've felt scattered or distant from who I truly am. I now see that not as failure, but as a call back to wholeness. We are not evil when lost, we are simply in need of remembering. For a divided house is not a den of thieves, it is only a divided house. Metaphor: judging a broken or confused person as bad is a misunderstanding. They are not wicked, they are simply in need of alignment. Insight: this reminds me of my own internal contradictions, the parts that fight, fear, or falter. They're not my enemies, they're rooms in my house that need light and presence. You are good when you strive to give of yourself. Yet you are not evil when you seek gain for yourself. Duality reframed: even self-interest is not evil, it is a natural part of life. We are both root and fruit. Gibran encourages harmony between giving and receiving. View: I've sometimes struggled with guilt around wanting more for myself. This line helps me understand that receiving is not selfish, it's necessary. You can't give from an empty vessel. Surely the fruit cannot say to the root, "Be like me." Symbolism: no part of life is superior to another. The visible fruit must honor the hidden root. Each part has its time and purpose. Reflection: this is a humbling reminder that not all growth is visible. Often, The most important work happens underground, in quiet nourishment and unseen striving. You are good when you walk to your goal firmly. Yet you are not evil when you go thither limping. Even those who limp go not backward. Message of compassion, effort, not perfection, is the measure of goodness. Progress is sacred, even when slow, messy, or halting. Thought, there have been days I've felt like I'm barely moving forward. But I now see that limping still counts as moving. Even when I stumble, I carry intention, and that is enough. But you who are strong and swift, see that you do not limp before the lame, deeming it kindness. Wisdom on integrity, pretending weakness to relate is not true compassion, it can rob others of dignity. Authenticity is the truest gift. Insight, this reminds me to show up fully, without shrinking to be accepted. Compassion doesn't mean dimming your light, it means shining it in a way that uplifts others. You are good in countless ways, and you are not evil when you are not good. Reframing failure, to be imperfect is not to be evil, it is to be human. Gibran holds space for both our striving and our stumbling. Reflection, I often hold myself to very high standards. This line feels like grace. I can be in process, unfinished, and still be worthy of love and respect. In your longing for your giant self lies your goodness. Spiritual interpretation. Our longing for growth, wholeness, and transcendence is the essence of goodness. Whether a torrent or a trickle, that longing is divine. Thought, yes, this echoes what I feel so often, a deep ache to become, to rise into something greater than I am now. That hunger is not wrong, it's holy. Let not him who longs much say to him who longs little, wherefore are you slow and halting? Message of patience and equality, we all grow at different speeds. The truly good do not judge the pace of others, they walk alongside with understanding. Insight, this encourages me to let go of comparison. I'm learning to walk with others, not ahead or behind, but with presence and kindness, each of us unfolding in our own time. Final thought, Gibran invites us to see both good and evil not as opposing enemies but as siblings of the same house, misunderstood, misdirected, or unmet parts of the self. True goodness is not about perfection but about integration. May we look at our shadows with compassion, and let our longing guide us gently home to the light within. Thank you for sharing in my journey.